Very good evening and warm welcome to my Life Winners program, all of you. Today, I am going to introduce you a political character through my program. He is Dr. G. Weerasingha. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening. Good evening.
He is the General Secretary of Communist Party in Sri Lanka. And professional qualification, when I see his professional qualification, Fellow of Sri Lanka College of Venerologists and the Fellow of Royal College Physician of Glasgow, MD Community Medicine and Community Medicine, University of Colombo. When I see MSc Community Medicine, University of Colombo, MD USSR. When I see career summary, joined Department of Health in 1989, worked in London St Mary's Hospital Trust in London, consultant virologist of Department of Health, worked in WHO as a temporary internal professional in HIV AIDS at the country office in East Timor, president of Sri Lanka College of Venerologists, member of Sri Lanka Medical Council in year 2012, vice president of Sri Lanka Medical Association in 2016, chairperson board of study and chief examiner for MD Venerology of Postgraduate Institute of Medicine, University of Colombo. Wonderful character and it is well educated. Today what I am going to ask you, Dr. Weerasingha. Now, Doctor, what I want to ask you, there are very important information I want to ask you, Doctor. Now, can you confirm your qualifications experience? You want to add further, Doctor? You want to add further qualifications or experience? Because you are amazing qualifications you have, very educated, very gentleman. Today, bearing the post of General Secretary of Communist Party in Sri Lanka. You want to add something, Doctor?
Actually, my professional background, in a nutshell, you said, I had my basic education in Soviet Union from 1981 to 88. And back in the country, in 1989, I joined the Department of Health. Then, while being in the Department of Health, I completed my postgraduate studies in community medicine, that is public health. First, I completed master's degree in community medicine and then the Doctor of Medicine, that is University of Colombo. Then, of course, I had to obtain my overseas training, for which I went to UK, where I worked for 2 years. 1 year at St Mary's Hospital in West London, and then the second year in East London, Royal London Hospital. Then back in the country, I worked as a consultant venereologist in the department for over 20 years, while being a consultant attached Department of Health. I had a short assignment of 2 years in WHO as a international professional in East Timor, where I worked in HIV/AIDS and sexually transmitted infections in that country. And then, of course, I was active in my professional college, that is Sri Lanka College of Venereologists. And as you mentioned, I am a fellow there. And then, of course, I am a fellow of Royal College of Physicians, Glasgow. Of course, I worked in Sri Lanka Medical Council. And then I was a vice president of Sri Lanka Medical Association. And of course, the postgraduate education, I was a teacher, trainer, and examiner for doctors for many years. And I was the president of the Board of Studies in Venereology at the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine of University of Colombo. And then I was the chief examiner for diploma venereology, for MD venereology for many years.
Right.
So, yeah, that is my professional background, and since I started my work in 1989, and I retired from the department in 2020. That was around 31 years.
31 years. You have sufficient amount of experience, but you have joined as General Secretary of Sri Lanka Communist Party. Dr. Weerasingha, when I go through the Google, I saw some history, some news information. Dr. Weerasingha has appointed as the leader of the Communist Party of Sri Lanka the party former leader Div Gunasekara due to Gunasekara's resignation. So unanimously appointed by the party working committee, Dr. Weerasingha serve as a general secretary as the position equivalent to the party of leader. Right. When I go through the history, I saw the history of Communist Party in Sri Lanka goes back to 1943. And previous name was United Socialist Party. It is formed out of the Marxist-Leninist wing of the Lanka Samasamaj Paksha. Right? So initially led by Dr. S.A. Vikramasinghe, and in 1963, Communist Party joined with SLFB. So Peter Kahneman became the Minister of Housing. Your publication is at the. Now during J.R. Jayawardena's government, D. Gunasekara has been imprisoned. Correct? This is the history, Dr. Weerasinghe. Now it has got a very long history. When you think about the present political situation in Sri Lanka, you are the most actually oldest party in Sri Lanka, but still you are trying to get the power, the mandate. Now, tonight I am going to ask you some question this way. Doctor, can you please elaborate some kind of information like this? Do you have any international cooperation when you are running this party?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. Yes, you see, now the Communist Party of Sri Lanka is the second oldest party in the country. Initially, it was Lanka's Samasamaj Party, which was established in 1935. But at the time of its establishment, among the founding leaders, the future leaders of Communist Party also were there, like Dr. S.A. Vikramasinghe, actually being the only state council at that time, the leftist state councillor, who was a founding member or founding leader of Lanka's Samasamaj Party. And then there were certain ideological differences that were emerging within Lanka's Samasamaj Party towards the beginning of the Second World War. You know that was in 1939. The Second World War started, and there was a rift within the party, and the communists who were in the party, led by Dr. S.A. Vikramasinghe, actually not led by the communists who were there. They were ejected. They were expelled from Lanka's Samasamaj Party. Why I wanted to highlight this split, that because it is directly related to your question. Actually, the split was based on based on an international relations issue, right? International relations issue based on international relations. To be more precise, the Second World War. You see, during the Second World War, the Lanka Samasamaj Party, the majority in that party, took a position to say that the war was an imperialist war, right? The imperialists are at war. But what the communist position was different. The communists within the LSSP had a different view. They did not completely agree with the position taken by many in the Lanka Samasamaj Party. especially when the war, the Soviet Union was getting involved in the war, it became a different war, right? The communists argued, right? Okay, the first socialist country in the world is Soviet Union, and we have to take the side of Soviet Union and to protect Soviet Union in the way, whatever the way that we can. Therefore, we have to be in the side of Soviet Union. Whereas some others in the party, or the majority in the party, LSSP, said, no, this is an imperialist war. Therefore, we don't have to take a side. So on that basis, actually, the party, the split, it was, the party was divided into two groups, right? So the basis of that rift, or the clash, was actually the internationalism, right? Now, so you're asking me the international relations of the Communist Party. I have to tell you,
Yeah.
it was born on an international issue, right? And the Communist Party is a member of the International Communist Movement, right? So the Communist parties all over the world are having very close and fraternal relations. We have our regional communist parties, communist parties in India, communist parties in Nepal. They are they are ruling parties there. And then the communist parties in Bangladesh, the communist parties in other parts of Asia, Vietnam, Laos, then of course coming to China, so, and then of course going further to international, Communist Party of Russia, Communist Party of Cuba, Communist Party of South Africa, Communist Party of Brazil. Likewise, you see, we have all over the communist parties, and every year we have our meetings. But apart from meetings, we are in constant contacts. We are in constant communication. Every year we meet, we discuss the issues, the urgent issues that are being faced by the world, at the time of the meeting, and then of course we come to, certain understandings, and we work as one family, or one unit of fraternal parties all over the world. So yes, Communist Party is a patriotic party, but they are an internationalist party.
Yes, but I mean, you have some international support to run the day-to-day activities.
Yeah. International support.
Yes.
In the sense that, we have, of course, you see, and I can tell you,
Yeah.
Now,
Doctor, according to
the party was established. Yes. The party was established in 1943, right?
43, yes.
And first task of the party was to fight to establish. The objectives of the party. I'm not going to discuss here, but then we had already that time Soviet Union. The October Revolution, took place in 1917, but we did not have any diplomatic relations even in 40s, even in 50s, yes. Up to, it was only after SWRD Bandara came to power, we established our diplomatic relations. It was Communist Party which was fighting to establish diplomatic relations with, yes, socialist countries, Soviet Union, other socialist countries, and China, and etc. And through those relations, we have been able to bring a lot of benefits to country.
Yes.
Okay, that is what I think you are asking me.
Yes.
Now, if you can go to that time, to 50s, even before establishing truly diplomatic relations, we were able to sign an agreement with China, if you can remember. That was Rubber Rice Pact.
Rubber Rice.
There was a time when we were having issues with rice. We did not have enough rice, and there was no way to buy rice in the world. That was the time when this Korean War was going on.
Yes.
So there was a high demand for rubber in the world market. But then we had rubber, but we did not have rice. Okay.
Right.
So Communist Party worked behind the scene, to convince the government to go into an agreement with China, and was able to push Sri Lanka to an agreement with China, which is being called Rubber Rice Pact.
Right.
You know that using that agreement, we were able to buy rice at a lower price compared to world market,
Yes.
and we were able to sell our rubber at a higher price compared to the price that was existing in the world at that time. So it was a beneficial to Sri Lanka pact. That was one simple example, not simple, very important example.
Yes,
But
yes,
after signing the diplomatic relations, after having establishing diplomatic relations with Soviet Union and other socialist countries, we were able to get a lot of support to this country. If you can remember Steel Corporation in Oruvela, if you can remember the Tire Corporation in Kelaniya, if you can remember Tulliriya, Puvada, Minneria textile factories, if you can remember the prefabricated, this housing construction, factory in Narayempita, there are many more. Then, there are a lot of other industries.
Now, according to your
Industries that were gifted to this country, actually, which established the industrial base of our economy.
yes,
Industrial base of our economy, right? And then you see, then we, of course, since early 1960s, hundreds of students were granted free scholarships to study in Soviet Union and other socialist countries. And I, of course, also, I am also one of them. I received my scholarship in 1981, right? So thousands of Sri Lankans were trained as specialists, as professionals by Soviet Union and other socialist countries. I can tell you, Soviet Union is the second country after Sri Lanka, which produced professionals for the country. Of course, Sri Lanka was producing its own professionals for their requirements. But after that, if you compare with all the other countries in the world, Soviet Union was the second country after Sri Lanka, which was producing the professionals for our country. The professionals who were required for the development of our country. Then, of course, Communist Party was able to translate Russian and Soviet literature.
Right. Okay, Doctor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Doctor. I have to give that fact. If there are people who read Russian books, the books written by Russian authors, if there are people who read the books written by Soviet authors, when you take the world literature, probably half the world-class literature is Russian. There are Tolstoy.
Thank you very much, Doctor, tonight. According to your manifestation, now what I want to ask you, now this present economic and present political situation. Now for the movement, actually from 1943, you are governing and you are involved in the party activities. Now for the movement, actually, most of the situation, the country is having rule in the party left hand side, not the Communist Party. But assume that you get the mandate. Once you get the mandate, maybe next year or after 5 years or after 10 years. Now, according to your political policy, what kind of activities, what are the policies, how this country will be developed? That means we are having developing country for the moment. So in that way, what are the policies, what kind of activities, what ways what kind of planning process you have to develop this country. Can you please explain very briefly what are the policies? Now, doctor, I want to explain this that way also. Now, people, according to the government calculation, they are telling inflation rate is minus. But the problem is people are having a lot of problem. They can't live. The poverty not elevated. Still, people are suffering with power. Goods and services are very high. And you have international support also when you are doing the Communist Party. So what kind of process, what kind of activities you have to reduce the prices of the goods and services, plus to increase the living index of the people? And according to the current context of all the political parties now, they are having different policies. They are telling now the central bank calculation, they are having the minus inflation rate. When you are telling minus inflation rate, but the people having still problem. So at least people are waiting to come, waiting to ask some other, waiting to see some other parties in these countries, at least Sri Lanka Communist Party in Sri Lanka, to proceed the country's development activities or to eliminate the developing board and put the developed board. So what are the policies, Doctor, tonight you have in this case? Tell about what are the activities you are going to implement the country's development activities, please.
Okay, I mean, you are asking a very serious question and you are asking me to,
Yes.
Answer in a very brief manner, which is going to be very difficult. But okay, if people can understand what I am saying, I will try to summarize. Now you were using very important two words from developing.
Yes.
So-called developing to developed,
Developed, yes.
right?
Yes.
What are you going to do? Can tell you now. You see, now Second World War was in 1945. That was the May 9th, May 1945. That was the last. Not that was the day when Soviet Army went to Berlin and raised the red flag in the German Parliament, right? That was the year when the United Nations was established. And 1945, now today we are in 2025, right? Almost 80 years. 80 years. 1945, apparently there were only closer to 50 countries in the world which were independent. Now you have closer to 190 plus something countries. Okay. Out of these 190 countries, how many countries are developed? Only very few countries. I mean, which were developed in 40s, 50s, 60s. They are always developed, and the countries which became newly independent following the Second World War. Hundreds of countries became independent. Hundreds of countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America became independent. Out of those independent countries, how many countries have become developed? Only very few. If you can count, if you want to count, very few. Like China, Vietnam. I mean, Vietnam also is a developing country yet. But China, and then there are a few other countries like Singapore and few other countries. All the other countries, around 100, 20, 30 countries are still developing. Why this is so? That is the big question. It is because the development model that has been imposed in the world does not allow countries like ours to get developed. That is the reason. I will tell you. Now I'm coming back to Sri Lanka. The current context of the economy. I want to tell you, like dashboard in the motor car gives everything about the vehicle. Like that, I will give you few dashboard indicators. Now the agriculture in 1977, agriculture was 31% of our economy. Now it is 9%. The industry, it was about 23% in 1977 in our economy. Now it is 16%. Now the economy is basically service economy, where you have about 50-60%. basically the country is run by financial and commercial capitalist class. They are not production based capitalists, no agriculture,
Doctor,
no industrial,
Doctor,
right?
sorry to disturb
So
you 1 minute. Doctor, now I ask, what are the policies according to Sri Lanka Communist Party to
yeah, let me,
have the future
I'm
development?
coming to that.
Future
I am
development.
coming to that. You see, what I am telling you is that since 1970s, 70s, mid 7, I mean 77, 78, the industries has come down, agriculture has come down, so the production economy has been, has come down, right? Now, then what is you are telling me the difficulties of people. I will tell you only one thing without going to too many things. There were two reports, one by United Nations Development Program, the other one was Department of Census. Right? I just tell you, Department of Census, says in its last report, they did a survey based on the families, families, kutumba, families, you see, the housing units, right? Family units, they say we have around, 5.5 million families. Out of that, 20% has only 17,500 monthly income. 20%, that is around 1 million families. Okay, the next 60%, of families, they have only around 55,000 rupees a month income. That is, if you put together 80% of families, that is about 40 lakhs or 4 million families have less than 55,000 rupees a month income. If you think that those families have only 4 children, mother, father, and 2 children, right? Family of 4, for them to survive, just eat normal food, you need around 120,000. But it is not only eating, you travel, you take medicine, you buy books, you go to other events, you can't survive. So this is the country that we have achieved. I told you the economy, I am now giving you the people's real situation. And one final thing, United Nations Development Program. It's not it's United Nations. They say, the income distribution, national wealth distribution, the top 1% of our population owns 31% of the national wealth. The bottom 50% of population, there's 10 million of our population. They own less than 4% of national wealth. This is the dashboard. This is what happened to our country. Your production economy has come down. It has been destroyed. Your people are poor. We have created such a gap, such a vast gap of wealth distribution, income distribution among our people. So can we go like this? This is the crisis that we are facing. So it is very obvious to come out from this crisis. You're asking our policies. The first thing is to go to a production economy. Communist Party proposed a production economy for the country based on three foundations.
Yes.
Develop the industry, the red economy, develop the agriculture, the green economy. You go to the untouched blue economy, that is sea economy.
Yes.
We have not touched yet.
Yes.
So these are the 3 bases: red economy, green economy, and blue economy. These are the 3 bases based on which we have to develop our economy. Okay. So we are not asking anybody to close the market. Okay, let us have the market, but let us don't destroy the state sector. It's the major part of the economy. We are destroying our state sector. Let us develop the cooperative sector. So let us have the private sector, the state sector, and the cooperative sector. Let us bring back planning to economy. We are not a planned economy. We are not a planned economy. We are moving here and there. We are loitering here and there. No planned, no coordination in our economy.
Yes.
Of course, then of course you see that you need Yeah, you need the national unity for the development.
Yes.
You know, without having one Sri Lanka nation, without having this national unity, you are not moving anywhere, right? When you are having all that, remember please, without having international, without understanding what is happening internationally, you can't get this country anywhere. The world has changed. Remember please, understand, world has been changed. You know, now this is not anymore a unipolar world. This is a multipolar world. You know, you have centers of powers, you have centers of economic power. It's America. Okay, America is there. The Western Europe, yeah, it's there. But understand, please understand, the economic center has shifted from Europe, led by America, to Asia. To Asia. You see, the economic development is happening really in Asia. It's China, it's India, it's Japan, it's Korea, it's Vietnam, it's Singapore, it's Indonesia, it's the Western Asia, that's Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, it's East Asia, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia. See, this is where the economy. Let us understand this reality and re-establish our foreign economic and trade relations with this emerging new world if we want to develop the country.
Okay, doctor.
So
now,
this is how Communist Party look at this situation, and these are the current policies of the Communist Party of Sri Lanka to bring the country out of the crisis.
According to your statement, you told that production economy, that is very important. During the Parakram Bahu era also, we have become a self-sufficient once upon a time. But that is the main thing I want to do actually also. I am also suggesting. Now for the moment actually due to time constraint, I need, actually it is very interesting lecturer, actually Dr. Weerasingha. Thank you very much for by sacrificing your time. Your valuable time you came to this My Life Winners program. Thank you very much. Once again we will meet again to discuss furthermore. And according to your the concurrent this situation and the discussion, we are going to have another discussion again. It is very interesting. Until then, I am telling you, thank you very much and
thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, doctor. Now I will wish you a very, very, very happy, prosperous, and very good future. I wish you actually you will get the better mandate in future to run this country, and as a result of that, I think that this country will be a self-sufficient like once upon a time Parakram Bahu period. So we will wish Communist Party in Sri Lanka have a very nice era in future to eliminate the poverty and have a good time for this country's population. Thank you very much. Okay, my dear friends, today you met Dr. Weerasingha. He was the Communist Party leader and president at the current context. Now, what is our main idea? Any political party should be able to develop this country and people's suffering should be eliminated. The poverty should be eliminated. That is our main name. Who is the party who's coming to Sri Lanka? Who is the ruling party? Even maybe it is NPP, it is SJP, or it is some other party. But any party should be able to develop this country and it should be able to have a self-sufficient country. So Sri Lanka is a very important country. All the resources are available in this country. So therefore, whatever the party we have, whatever we are voting, so we will assume that the Communist Party is getting better mandate. Say we will see how they are going to develop this country. Until then, until we meet another exciting gentleman, I will tell you take care and bye. And please subscribe my channel. Then only you can cooperate with me. Until we meet next, I will tell you bye and take care. Thank you very much.